remind you guys, he said he couldn't comment on any of this because of pending litigation. That hasn't changed, yet he's commenting. Because if Destiny could fix his public reputation by airing out some personal details right now, make no mistake, he would. I understand, look, Destiny must have a lot of friends, a lot of female friends. A lot of platonic female friends. I don't care how evil or crazy or hateful or spiteful or BPD or unhinged or creepy or whatever any of these women are. Did you do it? If yes, okay, the conversation's over. Well, guys, he's almost like a normal human being. Guys, he's almost like a real human being with like a soul and like feelings and a heart. Guys, he's almost like a real person.
No.
Mention, let's go. We made it. We made it. We made it, guys. So, I mean, let's start getting into this then. So I called it yesterday, okay? I haven't even seen the stream. I've seen like a few messages about it. I've seen like a couple tweets. So I've got like sort of an idea of what happened. I know what the biggest points are because you see them repeated the most, right? So, I called it. Let's just start there. But I just said exactly what his strategy was yesterday. And he said what his strategy was over a year ago. So we're going to go through. We're going to do a little refresher. Okay, I feel like it's kind of necessary if I can find this clip. I'm doing it all live as part of a self-serving, egotistical move where I refuse to prepare for this. And as a result, you're just going to hear me talk through finding clips on the go. Here it is. So here was Destiny's obvious strategy. He laid this out when the Mr. Girl stuff happened because he knew that the one way that his actions can actually kind of bury his reputation is if you actually establish a pattern, because it's clear. If you actually look at this guy's actions, he can obfuscate and deflect, say the other people are bad on any individual count. But if you look at him as a person, if you look at who he actually is and how he interacts with people, you get a very clear picture of someone who for over 10 years has sexually abused women. From leaking Blue Tea's nudes to talk about her in a StarCraft group chat 12 years ago, to interacting with a 15-year-old to the point where she was begging him to meet up, basically, and it was so hard to say no. And there's just some of these teeny boppers around at these MLGs. He's going to get arrested, guys. He's going to get arrested. And then saying that it's okay for, he thinks he's the best person to talk to your teenage daughter about sex, saying that he would know better than someone's parents about sex, and he would be perfectly happy to talk to a teenager about sex. Him saying it was justified to kill the DDoS kid, when the only reason the DDoS kid was getting his IP was because it was through Skype, and he ended up managing to come up with a solution anyway that hid his IP. So it's not like he was even out of options. Obviously, his moral argument is, them, it's got to be kind of like your last option. You can't just go around killing people. That's be a reason to actually employ violence. But his moral justification for that makes no sense, because he found a workaround, and he could have attempted to take it legally, or he could have stopped using Skype. Many things he could have done. Many things he could have done. So his standard doesn't actually apply to his own action there. And then you've got Anna. You've got his interactions with Anna, where he's smearing Anna as a stalker in public, saying that she's just so crazy because DGGers keep calling her a stalker. But really, she is a stalker, except she's not, because he was sexting her the whole time. He was constantly sexting her, saying that he would fix her public reputation if he was allowed to keep rubbing her legs and feet. Whether it's, you know, Lav, who you can discount because, oh, she's a bitch, she's crazy, she's a liar. But with We have the Welcome to the Orbiters Club DMs. We have him saying that. We have him wanting feet pictures from her, giving her perms in his Discord. When she complies, we have that. We have him congratulating her on that. We have the whole Kelly Jean thing, where after Kelly Jean obviously turned down his request to rub her legs and feet, and assumedly there was some other, I would imagine there was some proposition at some point, because Kelly said that she's never slept with him, but I doubt that he's not attempted to. He then decided to call her unfuckable years later on a live stream, called her unfuckable. Very clearly a reference to her vaginismus, which he then pussied out of. And started insisting that it was just a reference to how she was just so annoying. Because, you know, you're always calling... People call annoying people unfuckable, right? Yeah, that's a common insult. That's a common insult, right? And then, of course, as Nim is desperate for us to get onto, after all of that, and more, and even more, there's stuff I'm sure I'm not mentioning there. Sorry, Lauren accusing him of recording without consent in the bedroom. Baha falling out with him over recording without consent. After all of that, which I'm sure I'm missing, loads of stuff that he's done, loads of insanely fucked up shit he's done to men and women. After all of that stuff, he then shares Pixie's nudes. Total perfect victim. You can't... No way to slander her based on public stuff. Total perfect victim. He shares her nudes. And finally... Sorry, spreading misinformation. He called it unfuckable in off-stream Discord call. Sorry, and that was litigated on stream later where he walked it back. Sorry, Crow. Very true. And then... so... After all that, perfect victim, finally, Pixie here. And what's his move? Just manufacture fucking bullshit about her to try and deflect. Just manufacture bullshit about her. Just spitball it. Well, maybe someone didn't consent. And DGGs are actually dumb enough to go along with this. They're now pretending that there's any reason to care about some just like retarded, like she's just some retarded fucking girl. Who cares? What platform does she have? What pattern have you established? Why the fuck would anyone care about Pixie? Why the fuck do I care what Pixie done? Who gives a fuck? Destiny wronged her, and Destiny has wronged many other people before in very similar ways, if not the same way in Blue T's case. So why the fuck would anyone care about Pixie? Explain that to me. The only reason I ever cared about Pixie, the only reason Pixie was ever on my radar, was in relation to Destiny. That's the only reason Pixie even exists. She was a Destiny orbiter. That's why people know her. If Destiny was doing fucked up shit to all these people, that's the story. That's the fucking story. The idea that anyone should give a fuck what Pixie did is just absurd on the face of it. It's completely absurd. Oh, yeah, sorry. This is a... 1 minute. I have to make sure that this is a good recounting of Destiny events. And I watched a Willie Mack video recently, and that taught me that the best way to indict Destiny is to make sure that towards the end of your indictment of Destiny, you include a quick reminder that Hassan and Vosh are bad too. So, guys, remember that Hassan supports terrorists and Vosh is a pedophile, okay? I just need you guys to remember that for a moment. All right, we can carry on with the Destiny stuff. So, about a year ago, Destiny did a whole laying out of exactly his deflection technique. It's right here. Because he knew when the Mr. Girl Destiny report came out, he knew that that was an actual character indictment that was evidenced. It wasn't well written. It didn't argue itself well. It wasn't received well optically because it was attached to Mr. Girl. Many, many things that were wrong with the report. However, Destiny knew there was a core in there that was deeply, deeply fucking damaging to him. So he started laying the groundwork.
Pulling your see if you want to do what? Bring it forward? Or,
so let's make sure this is on normal speed.
Yeah, well, because I think you're like 1 foot taller than me, but now you look like you're 7 feet taller than me, okay?
Yeah. I just have a long torso.
Yeah. Jesus.
Managing the orbiters, yeah, I was going to ask you. So, you were struggling to know what to do with Irrelevant and Darius.
Oh, I don't know, like what, now I'm not, I've been like, I'm mindful myself. I just haven't like, generally what'll happen is the way that my life goes is I usually, time goes on and you kind of pick up these like little baggages, these mental baggages where it's like there's a solution somewhere in here, but you haven't figured it out. You got a problem here, you haven't figured it out. And I've like accumulated a lot of these little things and I just haven't spent like a day or two, like, what am I going to do about this? How do I want to go forward? Because yeah, usually I do these on long drives. Like if I've got like a 6-hour drive somewhere, I just like hop in the car, throw some music on, and then usually I start trying to like chew through these problems, but I just haven't done that recently. So yeah, just not sure about anything.
What do you think you think your audience would be upset if you ban these people? Do you think they would start driving a narrative, or the other?
Wait, is this the right point in the clip? Let me make sure I've got the right timestamp here. Where's
over the line? I would say. No, my audience would be happier for it because I know what I need to do to like make this stream good and everything too. But like you're trying to balance out like friendships and stream shit and everything too, so it's difficult. Yeah.
Right. And what did Darius and Irrelevant say when you mentioned this?
Darius mentioned we talked to them. They're not even the biggest problems right now.
Yeah.
The lab stuff, we'll see how like the whole lawyer shit goes for how that ends up turning out. But yeah. I think the orbiter stuff is like somehow it's filling out. I'm just worried because it's like it's always getting a little bit crazier, and at one point I think it's going to be too much.
Buddy.
I thought that it was going to be too much with Lav and Mr. Girl. Well, in some ways it was because like the sexual coercive shit is like a little bit over the line, I would say.
It's a little bit over the line. The sexual coercion shit's a little bit over the line. You know, when he said to Anna, someone that he claims has OCD that causes her to compulsively ruminate on online misperceptions, when he said to her, yeah, maybe one day I'll fix your public reputation, but until then I want to just keep rubbing your legs and feet. Who would ever call that sexual coercion? Who would ever call that sexual coercion? Deliberately preying on the vulnerabilities of a person you know is mentally ill to keep them engaging in sexual behavior with you. Who would ever call that sexual coercion? What a crazy thing to label sexual coercion. I guess.
And Max's 150,000 word report is probably a little over the line.
Is that even relevant anymore? I don't think anybody cares, right? Didn't that just fade into the distance?
No, it's not. But there are like this is like a reality. It's hard to talk about some of these things because I don't like to give like a guidebook for people to like ruin somebody. But this is I don't think we were live when I talked about this. But there's two things. If you repeat a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. And if it comes from endearing people, you will eventually believe it. And the problem is if there are certain key figures around and they repeat lies enough, eventually this will seep into the cultural zeitgeist and people will believe it. And I think people don't realize that happens, but that absolutely happens. So if there are enough key figures around, so like right now Chud has an editor and there's his editor and girlfriend are two people, Lav is one of these people, sycophants of Mr. Girl are some of these people, there are some people in other political communities that are just like anti-fans of me for whatever, which is whatever, but they're invested in this. And if enough of these people kind of like keep this stuff bubbling under the surface long enough, what'll happen is anytime I run into a big fight, that all kind of like comes up and then people are like, that's their opportunity. So like let's say I get into a huge fight with like Kelly Jean or something, right? Because she's like an orbiter that's controversial for good reasons. That's all going to come immediately up. It's like, oh, I knew that this was going to happen. Oh, Max is separate, like made a big post when we tiffed over the Steven Crowder thing or something, and they're like, oh, here it is, finally, blah blah blah. They're gonna, you know, like it's annoying because now every time I like have fights, I've got to like keep in mind like all this other weird shit that's bubbling under the surface.
So anytime you talk,
so literally laying the groundwork here for the exact form of deflection that I've already heard he attempts to engage in, that I've already seen him engaging in his DGG chat. He knew exactly how he was going to handle this, and he's known the whole time. It doesn't matter what the evidence against him is. It doesn't matter how fucked up what he did was. The strategy was always the same. The strategy was always the same. It didn't matter what happened. He was always going to do the same thing. So, after all of that, after demonstrating that Destiny has, or reminding you guys, I should say, that Destiny has engaged in sexual coercion in the past, that Destiny has engaged in non-consensual sharing of nudes in the past, that Destiny has been accused of non-consensually recording sexual encounters in the past. Let's get into the live stream. Let's get into the main content here. Where's his channel? I can't even find his channel right now. There we go. Or is Algo raped? So let's see what this absolute deadbeat, degenerate, Diddy party ass Destiny, gotta say.
Purpose.
Guys, I don't know if DGGs are in chat. You can join the VC. It's like a Destiny streamer. I used to be just like you. So I love arguing with people. So you can actually go to your browser, type discord.gg/Kuihman, join the Discord, and if you want to come on and defend this guy, you'll be allowed to. You'll be allowed to. You'll be able to make me look really stupid with all the debate tactics that you've learned from Destiny. You'll be able to own me because I'm wrong, right? This guy isn't a wretched, degenerate pervert with a history of harming women. This guy isn't a lying, cornered rat, lashing out at anyone he possibly can, trying to smear victims to incite you guys into derailing the conversations being about literally anything else. And that was not an intentional pun.
Why write this? On January 20th, 2025, Pixie created a Substack post, which you can see here, signaling her intent to sue me. She has since filed her lawsuit in which she claims I shared explicit material we created together without her permission. Until now, I've stayed away from addressing the exact claims she's made in her post and subsequent lawsuit. While it's important to explain my purpose for writing this, might be more illuminating.
Just remind you guys, he said he couldn't comment on any of this because of pending litigation. That hasn't changed, yet he's commenting.
To quickly explain why I'm not writing this. I am not writing this to appease the accusations made against me, my anti-fan communities, or other vultures who are here to simply hype up whatever stories they can involving me or others around me.
Remember, this guy used to love drama. This guy used to revel in it. He used to love covering other people's rape allegations, holding them accountable, talking about Arcadum, talking about Fedmeister, talking about, you know, all this shit. But now it's on him. Now he's at the hands of the...
Hey, chatter, did you hear the news? It's rape review.
All of a sudden, it's a problem. All of a sudden, we don't like it anymore.
Mr. Girl, Lab. I'm not writing this to divulge every single personal detail of my life for the public to comb through in order to harass me or others around me. I'm not writing this to respond to the multitude of claims made about me that have been circulating on the internet, sometimes for over a decade. For the majority of these claims, I simply don't wish to rehash every single wild claim or baseless accusation someone throws my way, especially when they're demanding I divulge even more personal information to do so. And, more importantly, I shouldn't be forced to provide that level of personal access to my life. I've already had my privacy violated in the most extreme and disgusting ways over the past few months, and I don't enjoy having every single
He's actually been perfectly happy to air out every aspect of his life every other time before. Any time where he thought there was any vindicating information, he has been willing to air it out. Why not this time? Is it possibly because there's not vindicating information for you to air out? Because you can't, there's not a narrative for you to spin there? Because if Destiny could fix his public reputation by airing out some personal details right now, make no mistake, he would. There's just there is absolutely no doubt. And you're delusional if you disagree.
Interaction I've had held up under a microscope for the internet to psychoanalyze. I do, however, feel compelled to provide a bit of backstory to my audience for you to have a bit of an understanding of everything that's transpired over the last few years relating to this incident, if for no other reason than to dispel at least the worst assumptions that some people have made about me, even within my own community. If you're unhappy with the level of personal details, or if you wish for me to divulge more about person ABC or situation XYZ, I don't care. You can simply leave. This isn't to say that I won't address other things in the future. I probably will, but one piece at a time, okay? Why wait so long? I'm sympathetic to people who view me negatively, even in the worst light.
Oh, guys, he's so gracious. He's so gracious.
Imagine why I would stay silent on everything that's been said about the situation so far.
The guys, he's so gracious. That's why he's actually very sympathetic to people who view him negatively. That's why when Merck said that he made a move that wasn't reciprocated, but that he wasn't sexually assaulting her in any way, he spazzed the fuck out and accused her of raping him, accused her of accusing him of raping her. Right, yeah, because you're just so sympathetic to people who view you negatively. Right, okay.
There are 3 reasons for the delay in transparency. The first was minimizing exposure to revenge porn. A great deal of explicit content of mine had been published on Kiwi Farms.
Yeah, that's why everyone says, every time anyone says a negative thing about him in DGG chat, he immediately just, exclamation mark, IP ban. That because he's sympathetic to people who view him negatively.
Including incredibly personal communications of mine. Giving this any kind of public attention is obviously a massive victory for vulture communities as well as the leaker, and a massive loss for the privacy of myself and any of the other victims involved. It's irritating that, because I'm a man, the expectation is that...
Oh, guys, it's because he's a man. It's because he's a man, guys. It's all the feminists. It's all the feminists, and men are just so hard done by. No one takes it seriously. It's because he's a man. It's not because this was all because of his own actions. Meanwhile, Pixie was a completely innocent party who had no agency in the situation. It couldn't possibly be because of that. It couldn't possibly be because people don't have a lot of sympathy for the guy who keeps standing in the middle of the freeway when he gets hit by a car. You were sending all of this material to as many anime profile picture 19-year-olds as you could possibly scoop up on Discord. 15 people contacted Pixie. 15. And you were sending it... Why would anyone have any sympathy? To Rose, a girl whose age you can't even verify. He doesn't know whether he was sexting a 17-year-old when he was sexting Rose. He has no idea. To Rose, a girl whose age he couldn't verify. He sent the entire details of his Lauren Southern affair. He sent Pixie's non-consensual sexual material. He sent potentially non-consensual sexual material of a gay grinder hookup to someone he couldn't even verify the age of.
Any explicit material of mine leaked for sexually humiliating purposes is just expected to be laughed at by me while being made into a joke by every community on the internet, including my own.
We're getting through the stream before I bring in any callers, so if you're waiting in the calling room, you're gonna have to hold up.
Whether that includes those maliciously lying about our hookups for purposes of public humiliation, or selectively publishing explicit leaked material online, all of it is incredibly disgusting and invasive, doubly so when I've been expected to just roll with it. It's incredibly bizarre how many people are fixated on insisting that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting. While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic humiliation. The second point is Pixie's privacy request. Once the leaker published and hosted all of my explicit content on Kiwi Farms...
he's back to calling her Pixie today. Oh, he's back... Do you reckon he passed us by the lawyer? What do we think happened here? Why is he back to calling her Pixie today? I thought he was on first name terms yesterday, when he was just randomly using the first name of someone who was referred to as Jane Doe in the legal filing.
Pixie messaged me and informed me that she didn't want confirmation of her in any part of the material. She said, I'm 100% denying it's me, by the way, since it's not super clear my face or anything like that. I haven't told other personal people in my life about it. This is me talking, basically, if you have any specific requests about like removing anything, and then it's just her saying, I don't want to testify or be named in anything. As far as people asking me, I'm just saying it's a lookalike. Don't tell anyone privately either if it's me or not.
Just like this was always retarded. Like the fact he wasn't, it's just like so fucking stupid. The idea that you could pretend it wasn't you. It's never gonna happen. Is there anything worth looking at here?
I'm just saying it's a lookalike. Don't tell anyone privately either if it's me or not. Basically. Pixie messaged me and informed me that she didn't want confirmation of her in any part of the material. As such, I made no public statements regarding her appearance in any of the leaked material. She has since filed a public lawsuit, which is why I feel comfortable speaking out now. All of our conversations until December 10th were almost exclusively about contacting law firms, removing any explicit material online, and minimizing her risk and exposure to any online abuse or harassment. Pre-trial settlement, the third reason. The vast majority of cases are settled. I Googled, there's a lot of numbers, it's all 90% plus. Before they ever go to trial, and the vast majority of them before they aren't even filed in court at all. One of the big reasons why lawyers encourage their clients not to discuss their case publicly, especially before it's been filed, is because you lose a lot of leverage that you might have otherwise when it comes to negotiating a deal with the opposing party. If this seems confusing or unintuitive, that's fine. Just keep it in the back of your mind because it will become much clearer later on as I explain this. Events.
Okay, well, Pixie didn't make it public. Well, I mean, it was already public, to be honest. Yeah, first of all, it was already public. The fact that the images were out there, I mean, everyone knew it was Pixie that looked into it. But Sunday, obviously, Sunday and Beckett forced a hand on that.
That's events. In April, in April of 2022, I was contacted by Rose. We maintained an amicable friendship up through 2023. We never have any fights or disagreements about anything. We were always on good terms with one another. November of 2024, so I was clearing out my Discord friends list of people I no longer speak with. I noticed the account was still added, and we hadn't spoken in a while. So I sent a message to it, checking in to see how she was doing. I have strong reason to believe that at the time I did that, someone besides Rose was logged in.
Amicable friendship. What a way to describe messaging a 17-year-old. We don't know that she's 17, to be fair. Destiny doesn't know the age. Destiny just actually doesn't know.
Into the account, scrolled up to see all of the messages we'd exchanged, and took steps to protect their identity so they could dump all of the materials they'd found in our messages to various Discord servers and eventually Kiwi Farms.
So what his claim is that he messaged Rose. So wait, dude. Wait. We hadn't spoken in a while, so I sent a message check in to see how she was doing. Really? You were just checking in on your good friend Rose? I thought the Vivants stopped this kind of behavior, that you weren't pursuing a bunch of random anime profile pictures for hookups on Discord. I thought that wasn't happening anymore. But then you just messaged her to see how your good friend was doing. Okay. I understand. Look, Destiny must have a lot of friends, a lot of female friends. A lot of platonic female friends.
Scrolled up to see all of the messages we'd exchanged and took steps to protect their identity so they could dump all of the materials they'd found.
Oh, DJR in chat, thank you for reminding me. Great time to tell you guys, okay, we've got over 1,200 people here right now. Only 130 likes on stream. If some of those 1,100 or so people wouldn't mind please moving their cursor to the thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing the thumbs up on their mobile device, that would be hugely appreciated. Now, if you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly. Thank you, IC, for the 5 memberships. Thank you. Hugely appreciated. You can donate directly through the stream elements link in the pinned chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat. Buy a super chat like James Essery just has. Thank you for the $10, James. Which will highlight a message and read it out on TTS if it's over $5. Or you can buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that will be highlighted in chat, and I'll describe it to you. Go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Also, kick.com/Kuihman live, kick.com/Kuihman live, kick.com/Kuihman live. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Found in our messages to various
And thank you for
Discord
the 5
servers and
gifted Yummy Prismo as well. Thank you. Destiny argued he was okay with the trade-off of dating women and the risk went along with the reward. You went skydiving.
Destiny argued he was okay with the trade-off of
Eventually.
dating a lot of women and the risk that went along with the reward. He went skydiving for the 1000th time and looks like he really isn't okay after all.
Very true, very true. I mean, he always said he loves these crazy interactions. That's why he pursues them. So why am I supposed to see you as a victim? You knew the risks, kept doing it, and now it's gone the way you knew it would go. Stupid games, stupid prizes. Thank you for the $5, Monk. Thank you for the 5 memberships, Todd Sullivan. Thank you.
Kiwi Farms. The leaks. On November 20th. Future posting. Whoops. On November 20th, 2024, the Discord user Solo began to leak huge swaths of personal messages between me and another person across several Discord chat rooms. President Sunday was sent these messages and decided to do a dramatic reading of them for his YouTube channel. Several days after he and other parts of the internet had had their fun exploiting leaked material from my personal life, Solo messaged me sometime in the morning and said that he was unhappy with how the coverage of the leaks had been so far. He felt as though people weren't giving it enough attention, so he was going to leak more from my logs with Rose if I didn't allow him to come on my stream and speak with me. I don't exactly remember what the message to me was, as I just woken up, read it, and then responded briefly before going back to sleep. The next
Well, let's see. Okay. Discord user Solo began to leak huge swaths of personal messages from me and other personal President Sunday was sent his messages, decided to do a drastic reading them for his YouTube channel several days after he, other parts of the internet, had the fun exploiting leaked material from my personal life. Solo messaged me sometime in the morning. She was unhappy with her coverage of being leaked so far. Okay. Why do we care about any of this? Why do we care about any of the Solo stuff? I don't know.
Next time I checked my messages with
Thank you for the $9.99 Soap and Clay. Hugely appreciated.
him, everything had been deleted. On that same day, November 29th, 2024, Solo dumped every explicit video I'd ever exchanged with Rose onto Kiwi Farms.
I was
One of these
told
videos
this is where we sent donations for the DGG deprogramming campaign.
Thank you, thank you.
allegedly showed Pixie and I engaged in a sexual act, and she subsequently messaged me and informed me of the leak. When Pixie posted on her Substack that she had to contact me about the situation first, this was the first time I was actually even made aware that explicit material of me involving others was being posted on Kiwi Farms. I think she
why do I care?
puts this in here. Note, I had to contact him, asking about this.
Why does any of it's just like irrelevant shit so far? It's like, okay, you're giving a recounting. Yeah, we all know what happened with some videos on it.
Situation before he sent me this message. I think I was in the shower when I got this DM, and I didn't even realize it had been posted, but okay. Time passes. I contacted a law firm in New York and began to pursue legal action relating to the revenge porn incident. Pixie made it clear that she did not want to be identified in any way in these leaks, and it's just retweeting the same messages.
Yeah, but that was obviously fucking retarded. She was completely identified by the video itself. Like you could tell it was her. It was her, very obviously.
I agree.
It was like always a retarded thing. It just benefited Destiny to go along with the idea that she couldn't be
Sending money so
identified.
you can be happy, smile.
Thank you for the 25 PLN. That is the first time I've sent PLN. Thank you. So, yeah, it obviously just played into Destiny's hand for her to believe that she could ever deny this. But anyone with, like, functional IQ above 60 could identify the fact that there was no way to hide from it. It was obviously her, and she was being named all over the internet.
And I spoke nothing at all of it publicly and continued to work and stream while pursuing my legal cases in the background. All of my communications with Pixie over the next week pertain to removal of the material and pursuing actions against the leaker. I think I just like selectively went through some of these, but basically it's just me, like how to report comments, link me stuff if you want it removed, her asking me about updates on the law firm, asking me about updates about getting it removed from Kiwi Farm, stuff like this.
Thank you for the $20 Ziploc. Thank you.
Basically,
Did he
all about
sound bad? Feels good, man.
communications. Escalation. On December 11th, two strange things happened. Lauren Hayden, someone I hadn't had contact with for months, messaged me to tell me how much she hated me. On December 11th, what you did was evil. I have never hated anyone so much.
Okay,
so much.
Okay, and point and. Which I don't care if all these girls hate you. Did you do the thing? Yes? Okay, fuck you. That's it. That's the conversation. I don't care how evil or crazy or hateful or spiteful or BPD or unhinged or creepy or whatever any of these women are. Did you do it? If yes, okay, the conversation's over.
Same day, just a few hours earlier, Pixie messaged me, informing me that she was planning on committing suicide in some manner in which she would expose me after taking her own life. Her message to me was...
See, guys, what you don't understand is I'm totally innocent. Just every woman I come into contact with ends up hating me and thinking I'm an abusive, manipulative piece of shit, wretched pervert.
Pixie lied about being 19 toe.
Because they're all so
she
crazy.
Was really 20. What a guilt by heart, you Kuihman.
Thank you, Matthew Morton, for the $5. Thank you.
Was, hi, Stephen. As my life on this earth comes to a close, I want to ask you to please be more careful with the people who place their trust in you in the future. Life is unfair, but you should do your best in preventing that, not contributing to it. I said, hold up there. What's up? I wasn't actually sure if this was...
Get him.
Thank you, Butterflies, for $4. Thank you.
A super serious message or not, because I'd never seen anything like this before from her, but I'm just tired of living anymore. It's a matter of time until my family discovers what happened, and I feel like there is no way to obtain justice. I don't want to bring a case against you, but I think you'll continue to send nudes to people even without their consent. Bringing a case against you would mean going public, which is the equivalent of a death sentence for me either way. So I feel like the best thing to do is for me to kill myself and schedule a post just detailing my feelings on what happened to try to ensure a situation like this doesn't happen again. I'm not going to kill myself at this second. I'm trying to get some things in order before I end everything. But I don't see a future where I survive for much longer. It's better to end things sooner than later and stop the pain than to let it continue.
Okay, and?
Up until this point, all of our conversations had been almost exclusively focused on removing any material of her on her behalf and updating her on any legal progress, so these messages were very out of character. As a brief aside, Lauren Hayden is someone who's had bitter feelings towards me after we refused to date her about a year ago. She lies constantly, claiming that we dated, sometimes for as long as 9 months. I don't know why she keeps posting stuff like this. Aren't you grossed out by the fact you got smashed by Kuihman, Gremlin, Destiny? How does it feel to get dumped by the little midget? Nope. Willingly did it for 9 months of dating him. Breakups happen. Did people forget this?
Oh, apparently there's actually a timeline discrepancy in his manifesto already. Apparently we do have a timeline discrepancy. Now, it's only a small one. It's not particularly material, I don't think. Though, you know, there could be more information. That Iron Fist cuck meme. Okay. Now, there could be more information that makes it more relevant at some point, who knows, but so it's worth noting there is a clear timeline discrepancy. In this first section here about Rose, he claims that in November of 2024, so I was clearing out my Discord friends list to people I no longer speak with, I noticed the account was still added. However, Destiny's message to Rose was actually in October of 2024. As we can see here. Wow, hey, what's up? How are you? You see that's in October of 2024. Unless there's another message. Unless there's another message, he didn't get a reply there or something, and then he messages the next month or something. Who knows? But then that would seem to not really line up with the rest of the statement, I think. Through 2023, and then that implies that it drops in 2023. He gets to the end, don't speak for ages. Yeah, I mean, unless there's another message we're not seeing. But noted.
Broad was begging, blah, blah, blah. We dated for 9 months, and he took our conversations out of context when I broke up with him. You can believe a liar if you wish.
Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Someone somewhere. Hugely appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Did people forget this? Broad was begging, blah, blah, blah. We dated for 9 months, and he took our conversations out of context when I broke up with him. You can believe a liar if you wish. I don't know why. Oh, I'm sorry. I do know why she's... if this was last year, she's doing this because if Lauren is involved in something personally, she cannot help but constantly talk about it publicly as well. You can always tell like what Lauren is up to in her personal life based on who she's tweeting at.
We don't care. We don't care. Well, she's crazy and she posts on Twitter. She's crazy and she posts on Twitter. Nobody asked, bro. Nobody asked. Did you record this girl without her knowledge? That's what we want to know about. Why was this girl saying that you record people in your bedroom without knowledge, without the other person's knowledge? Why was she saying that? Can you explain that? Thank you for the 13 Canadian broadcast. Hugely appreciated. Thank you.
That's just the kind of person she is. And I guess her DMing me as well.
Why is this critical to the lawsuit? It's not. He just wants to smear Pixie and her friends as crazy people that are all against him so that he can pretend that there's no criticism of him.
I've already posted evidence of this in the past. I think that tweet even included like a video that I'd done on this. I've already posted evidence of this past. Here's an additional conversation I had with a mutual friend last year to put that claim to rest. Lauren came to a hotel room where me and another streamer person were having a conversation basically about her. And then she was very sad.
I hate Destiny 2. I hope Destiny 3 is better.
Thank you.
I guess that we weren't dating and we were trying to figure out like what was like the gentlest way to deal with her. But this is that conversation, I guess, and she keeps saying that we were dating. This is that person saying, was I too aggressive with Lauren? LOL, I don't care about you. Oh, that's sweet. I don't think so. I'm really glad she brought up some far stuff in front of you, though, with me in the room, so I could clearly demonstrate that she twists stuff like crazy regarding her. Just demonstrating that Lauren fucking lies about everything in person when she's upset. This is just basically a conversation about how she's...
What's all this shit?
Figure out like what was like the gentlest way to deal with her. But this is that conversation, I guess, and she keeps saying that we were dating. This is that person saying, was I too aggressive with Lauren? LOL, I don't care about you. Oh, that's sweet. I don't think so. I'm really glad she brought up some far stuff in front of you, though, with me in the room, so I could clearly demonstrate that she twists stuff like crazy regarding her. Just demonstrating that Lauren fucking lies about everything in person when she's upset. This is just basically a conversation about how...
She fucking... Just like the random spirit, she fucking lies about everything in person when she's upset. DGGs will believe that, by the way. The average DGG retard will believe that one line, by the way. He just said she lies about everything when she's upset. He hasn't proven that. He hasn't proven that at all. I don't think he's even proven one lie here. It's just Jasmine saying, yeah, I don't think you made the nose comment anymore, lol. At least not the way she phrased it. So she might have misrepresented something here. This is Jasmine saying Lauren might have misrepresented something in a conversation at some point. And that is being used to say she lies about everything when she's upset. To just disregard everything she's ever said. The tactic is so obvious. You are a complete mark. You're a fucking idiot. You're not as smart as you think you are if you're a DGGer who is falling for this stupid shit. Turn your brain on and watch the stream instead of just sitting there passively consuming the ASMR content that makes you feel better about your low motivation to succeed in life by vicariously living through the equivalent of the smartest guy at the gas station.
About everything in person when she's upset. This is just basically a conversation about how kind of like... I don't want to say, but no, I will actually say it, about how pathetic Lauren's situation was. She was like becoming fairly obsessive with me since I'd broken up with Melina, and then had decided that she was going to try to date me. And then when I gave her a firm no, it was like, and basically she went nuclear at that point. And yeah.
Thank you for the £2. Thank you.
Just, we were all silent when she said that she was obsessive with me since I'd broken up with pathetic Lauren's situation.
Here's a pack of cigarettes for dealing with this regard and his sycophants. Enjoy your night, Kui.
Thank you for the $10. Thank you. Hi, do you feel like I'm being super aggressive towards you? No, I just hate the truth about everything I suck at. I don't think you suck, but I'm a really honest person and can be bad at learning the best delivery, time and place to discuss things, lol. Also, I have this thing where it's weird censoring stuff I feel about my friends because I feel like I'm being fake. but I could definitely learn to channel that better. No, you're good. It's good for me. I need more friends like you. Okay, good. I think you're a super amazing person. I like having you in my life.
Situation was, she was like,
yeah, this is just like random leak. So what's that? This was any shit have to do with this? I don't. But yeah, it's a really awkward position for me. Is with so many people now. My wife is gone. As weird as it sounds, it was a really good barrier from people getting too attached because now people really want to date me, Laura included.
Becoming fairly obsessive with me since I'd broken up with Melina, and then
So did you record her without her consent? Was she telling the truth when you said you record people in your bedroom without consent?
kind of like, I don't want to say, but no, I will actually say.
That's what I want to know. Deny that allegation. If that's not true, stop just saying she's a liar, she's crazy, and say, when Lauren accused me of recording people in my bedroom without consent, she was lying. I don't do that, and I have never done that. Say that. Why is he not saying that? Why is he not saying that?
How pathetic Lauren's situation was. She was like becoming fairly obsessive with me since I'd broken up with Melina, and then
you know, personally, if I was doing a manifesto responding to allegations of recording people non-consensually and spreading sexual material non-consensually, the first thing I would do, if I was innocent, is I would say, that's not true. I didn't do that. That's what I would do. That's me personally. That's just me personally.
Had decided that she was going to try to date me, and then when I gave her a firm no, it was like, and basically she went nuclear at that point. And yeah, it's just, we were all silent when she said that in the car. Oh yeah, because she was talking to 2 streamer people. I don't know if I'll give their names. If she wants to deny this, I can invoke those people and they can say something publicly about it. But anyway, just that's our history, I guess. Since threats of suicide from Pixie were now involved, I reached out to a mutual friend, Aaron. Okay, yeah, I have no clue what to say or do. How much did she tell you? And then I pasted our conversation. And she says, I'm surprised she told you. To be honest, she didn't respond to this, or did she delete it? No, if she responded and deleted, I didn't see, but I'm pretty sure she just didn't respond. She's not doing well, and she had made all the wrong moves. In response to this, I told her to do nothing and not reply to people. I said, I don't think she's done anything too bad or anything, like just privating her stuff for a bit was fine. She said, people have sent me stuff that she said to them in DMs.
So even here,
she's denying.
I don't believe this is an honest response. I don't think she's done anything too bad or anything. It's in Destiny's interest to say that she hasn't done anything too bad. Pixie had freaked out in Spicy Chat, threatening to herself, because people were mentioning it in there and people were going pretty crazy. Pixie had privated her Twitter right after it happened. She was throwing up all the signals that it was her. It's just in Destiny's best interest to pretend she hasn't totally fucked it up yet, because if her and her friends believe that there is a chance of still keeping it quiet, keeping it anonymous, then they're less likely to make it public and actually try and hold him accountable. It's just in his interests to say this.
I get in private and DMing people to stop talking about it because it's not her. I said, oh, well, I mean, if it's helping her process stuff or whatever, it's okay, unless she's just blowing it up or making it.
Thank you for the $10.
Every woman that says something I don't like is lying or a scorned lover. I'm completely innocent even when confessing to crimes. Destiny.
It works or something. She said, Erin says, she went into Spicy Chat and said their comments make her want to kill herself a few days ago. She had told me she would do it if her parents found out because I suggested reaching out to family members that could be trusted to give her emotional support, but she's not really talking to people. Loner messaged me asking if I'd heard from her because she hasn't been messaging. I responded to the comment about Spicy Chat and I said, that is bad. Yeah. Then I messaged her tonight and she said,
Dude, why does this gay little Discord channel get so much fucking attention? It's so crazy. Just like content creators seething about this gay fucking Discord channel. When 90% of it is me talking about how I wish women were more like men. Thank you for the $10, Tetris.
He bans his fans who go against him, and an increasingly cult-minded group is left who will parrot this and poison the well of public discourse. Glad people like you are pushing back.
Thank you, thank you.
And that's when she said she thinks that's what she needs to do. I said, well, fuck, I feel like going over there or asking her to just hang out for obvious reasons. Wait, I feel stupid going over there or asking her to hang out for obvious reasons, but I don't really know what else I can do or if I'm even a person who can offer support. Aaron says, I don't know how she views you. When she told me, I wondered if I should tell you and ask you for help. But if she sees you as an abuser, then it seems like the ultimate betrayal to do that. Same with telling her family, blah, blah, blah. This is basically just like, I'm just trying to figure out like, okay, well, you know, is there anything I can do to help? You need to calm the fuck down. Why? Stop. Ooh. Okay, whatever.
Well, guys, he's almost like a normal human being. Guys, he's almost like a real human being with like a soul. And like feelings and a heart. Guys, he's almost like a real person.
I have no clue what I can rectify. These are actions I'm taking legally. And then Erin says, this is pure speculation, but I wonder if she was seeing if you'd even reply or if you'd go silent when she sent me that one message, the suicide one. My understanding at the time was that Erin was an incredibly close friend of Pixie, and so sought her advice on what I could do to help. I spoke with Erin while the both of us tried to console Pixie. Erin eventually suggested, approving the exact message even, that I offer her money to help cover at least her therapy or perhaps even payments towards law school.
Okay, and?
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know what else to do.
We don't care. We didn't ask.
Or dollar signs. I fucking offer to cover her therapy or some shit. I don't know her employment situation, but I don't think it's good. You really think so? LOL, I have zero problem with that. I thought about it, but it feels super ultra scummy, or like I'm just trying to buy off her feeling bad or something, but obviously 1,000,000%, I would absolutely do this. Yes, I really think so, LOL. She mentioned pursuing a case against you in that first screenshot you sent me, and this isn't a crime that's punishable jail as far as I know. So unless she thought it did, or some other punitive measure she felt would deter you, I'm going to assume she was considering doing it for financial damages. I asked her what was an appropriate way of approaching her about it, and she said being honest and front-loading it with genuinely not being able to rectify it neutrally because of the obvious conflict of interest, but you'd like to try, and that it's something you do if it would help her. Therapy costs for sure. If you're really feeling generous, something to do with her law school pursuits, like year one or something. I don't know how far you're willing to help.
What does any of this have to do with anything?
But I see it as offering her something to look forward to in her immediate future. That is a goal she was working towards in the midst of all this, and it would be a reminder that her life isn't over because of this, not even close. And I said, what law school was she looking to go to? Is money the only thing stopping her from going or something? I'm not sure, but she owes me $147 and is having to pay it back to me in installments. Because
this is the thing. This is just ASMR for DGGers. They just hear him talk through this stuff. They hear him describe things that vaguely sound like he's being like not that bad of a guy. And then they just go, oh, well, I guess everything's fine then. And then the programming's downloaded and they carry on. Zero critical engagement. And again, if you believe yourself, you're sitting in the audience right now and you're just so upset because I'm so bad faith, such drama, vulture, bad faith, trying to rape this guy. You can join the Discord at discord.gg/Kuihman and call in at the end of the segment once we've gotten through all the material here. And you can totally own me with all the epic points and responses that he obviously is going to bring up in this manifesto because he has so much of worth to say in his own defense.
She can't afford the payments all at once, so I'm pretty sure there are hefty financial constraints for her right now. Wait, hold on. $147. Yeah, because when I moved, blah, blah, blah. And this is just basically on her financial situation. And then I post this message here to her. This feels super lame, and I don't want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything for you. But if you have any bills or owe money or anything or have any financial stuff I can help with, I can at the very least chip in and help you with any of that. So it's at least one less thing you have to worry about or stress over while you're worrying and getting through this. Sorry. Do you think this is okay? Yes, I think it would only be skeevy to do this if you're like, can I give you money so you don't take legal action against me, please? Thank you. Smiley face. Maybe, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Erin eventually suggested approving the exact message, even that I offer her money to help cover at least her therapy or perhaps even payments towards law school. After sending the message, Erin approved to Pixie. Pixie rejected it in what I thought was an odd manner. So this was me sending the message.
So all the people who were pretending, reminder, this was a cope yesterday. These GGers were coping. They were saying, oh, well, there could be unseen evidence that shows she actually consented. We've already accepted we're past that point. That's just not the case, right? That's just not the case. Because here is Destiny clearly laying out that he has done something wrong and was trying to pay her for it. So that's not even an argument anymore. So all the people that were pretending he was going to drop unseen evidence today that was going to vindicate him, well, that's clearly not true.
Payments towards law school. After sending the message Aaron approved to Pixie, Pixie rejected it in what I thought was an odd manner. So this was me sending the message to her. She replies, "It's more complicated than that. I feel like there's no justice for what's been done. I feel like people for the rest of my life are going to try to send it to my family or workplace or wherever I go. I feel extremely violated with how so many people saw me non-consensually in a vulnerable position. I feel like people are always going to use this as proof that I slept my way into whatever achievement I garner. I feel like it's evidence that everything would be better with me gone." And then she replied to my specific suggestion with, "I feel like whatever I ask you to cover will be too high a price too, and then I'm going to feel even worse over it." And then the rest is me, I think, just kind of consoling her. She said that whatever amount she'd ask for would likely be too high, despite me not yet mentioning a dollar amount. At this point, I noticed her language was also taking a sharply pointed and more deliberate tone with words.
Okay, what does this mean? She said that whatever amount she'd ask would be too high, despite me not mentioning a dollar amount. Well, okay, and? She obviously has an idea in her head. What does this mean? Despite me not yet mentioning a dollar amount. He's just trying to frame her as being, like, greedy. That's all this is.
It's like justice, non-consensual, and vulnerable, showing up for the first time in our messages almost 2 weeks out from when the original leaks actually happened. I was trying to walk an impossibly fine line with my conversations with Pixie, balancing a few key things. I was concerned for her well-being and mental health, but I wasn't sure what she was getting at with her claim of me not giving her as much money as she'd want. I was also trying to comfort her in regards to the leaks without downplaying or minimizing what she was feeling, a concern I communicated with Aaron at the time. I want to send Pixie this thread and tell her that there are tons of people talking homophobically, and a few that mention Lauren, but none mentioning her, but I don't know if this comes off as me minimizing her complaints or not, lol. If you could minimize it, that would be good, actually, then she wouldn't think about it as much.
What's this? Has Solo leaked the DMs? What am I seeing here? So, okay, so before we get too much further, Solo has seemingly leaked more DMs. This was that message that he sent to Destiny, blackmailing and whatever, that Destiny spoke about. Hey Destiny, please read this fully and give me a response. Let's talk on stream. Whoever's, yours, J-Stalks, Kuihman's, about the leaks. You can use this as your response to the leaks, or just have people grill me in there, similar to what happened with Sunday, and you yesterday. I don't mind. This whole thing has been so boring because of the Omega levels of sweeping by J-Stalk, Chad, Kuihman, so I feel at this point, it's the only way to find value. Otherwise, I'll be leaking the full DMs, including all images / videos shared from you to Rose, and the information about Rose's age, plus full Twitter DMs, in which you were negligent in verifying age, even after you joked about her looking so young that you would need ID to make sure she was really even 18. Let me know if this works for you. I'm glad to leave certain things out of the conversation. If you'd like to tell me what you want to avoid, you may. I assume the Lauren thing and more of the stuff I've told you hasn't leaked yet. Let's set this up. Smile. Dude.
Aaron informed me that Pixie was settling...
Okay, yeah, now, that's extortion.
...on a figure, hinting that she would ask me to pay for her law school tuition. Notably, no actual figure was ever sent to me for consideration. Aaron messaging Pixie, how are you feeling this morning? I feel better. I feel somber, but not suicidal right now. That's good. Well, not good. I'm sorry you're still somber, of course, but an improvement. Did you reply to Steven? Yeah, we got into an argument back and forth on why I shouldn't kill myself. I haven't replied to his last message or asked him to cover my tuition. I don't think he would do that if I asked him. LOL, okay, I need to think on that. Like, entire tuition for law school is like $200K, X-Face. I told her to make the request, and y'all can negotiate from there. I don't know what law school she wants to go to. If it's like Harvard, then yeah, the whole thing being covered is probably not happening. If it's a state school in Florida, that's another story. First, she needs to actually apply and get in. That will give you time to think about the amount as well. I said, okay, we'll keep in mind. On the same day that she was expressing her thoughts of suicidality to me, she began to aggressively fight with trolls online about subject matter that seemed to be begging for people to bring attention to the recently leaked material. On that same day, December 12th, why do people think the woman body is automatically sexual? Why is it considered morally higher to be covered up? Why does other people sexualizing me makes my body a moral dilemma?
Okay, and?
Even Aaron agreed that this was a crazy Twitter battle to engage in at the time, and it seemed especially strange given that Pixie told me 8 hours
yes,
earlier.
We know Pixie. Yes, we know Pixie is fucking unstable. Was very stressed out over this shit. Yes. What do you think this makes you look better? If anything, it makes you look worse. Yeah, the shit you did really fucked this girl up, and she didn't know how to handle it. Yeah, we know.
Still receiving DMs related to the leaks, was petrified of her parents finding out what had happened, and would kill herself if it ever got that far. Bro, why fight about this today of all days? She's so brave. Yeah, I don't know if brave is the right word. These were her messages to me earlier. I feel like part of the reason why I'm still freaked out about it is because it's been 2 weeks and I still have people commenting on my socials and DMs about it.
What is bro yapping about at this point? This is just like a less refined, more desperate, cornered, gimped, injured version of every other manifesto. It's just smearing. It's desperate smearing. That's all it is, obviously. It's misdirecting from what he did, smearing, and just try to drag the others down into the same fucking gutter of credibility that he's in.
Andrew and his fan base as well have some other psychos hate me for being a woman who disagrees with them, and that they'll use it during any opportunity they can to cause harm to me. But maybe I'm wrong. And then this is just us going back and forth over don't kill yourself, basically. And then that she'll never have a job again. You don't think it's realistic that someone might fire me over this, that I might lose whatever future career I work in because the office passed around my sex tape?
Child, I thought you weren't spoiling this for yourself. You're it. This guy's addicted.
I was now in an impossible position. Hold on. I was now in an impossible position. A revenge point of me was still being blasted across the internet with family members, including my 13-year-old son, being spammed with explicit videos of me, sometimes even by popular social media personalities like Just a Minx.
Oh, wow. Guys, this crazy alcoholic bitch who's got nothing to do with the situation that everyone hates, everyone shits on, that is like posting every other week about how she drunkenly slipped over and broke her jaw again. This crazy alcoholic bitch who has nothing to do with the situation was doing really bad things to me. What does this have to do with you sharing non-consensual imagery, video, and audio recordings? What does this have to do with that? She is in Twitch aristocracy. She got kicked out. She fought with Cutie Cinderella.
I love it.
So thank you for $5, Butters. Thank you.
I guess it's because I'm a guy at school. I'm trying to get better, but the image of Destiny sucking that cock is ruining it. Based. And then this is just her casually, you know, replying to tweets of mine. You know, it's good. Getting some good Twitter engagement here. Not that anybody gives a fuck because
why is he
she's a
showing
girl
this?
and I'm a
Why
guy,
is he
but,
showing
you know,
that?
It's all good. That she has a 1.4 million follower account and it didn't matter, but all right. Multiple large social media accounts were covering it, with Kiwi Farms bragging in a tweet that a surge of visitors consuming the revenge porn of me required a database rollback. And now, on top of everything, Pixie was coupling threats of suicide and a public note with an implied request for hundreds of thousands of dollars from me.
Sue them. Sue Kiwi Farms then. When's he suing Kiwi Farms and Solo? The leak started before the sex tapes came out. You've had more time than Pixie. Pixie's filed a suit. Where's your suit against Solo and Kiwi Farms? Where is that? He said that was happening, no? He was pursuing legal action. Where's that? Yet we've seen nothing. We've seen no movement. Thank you for the raid lyrics. Thank you, thank you. We've seen zero movement. So where is it? What's happening?
To make things right for her.
Solo actually popped up in chat yesterday. I assume it's Solo anyway. The username is Solo Yet on YouTube.
The surge of traffic to the Kiwi Farms related to Destiny's blowjob video has caused a fatal database error, and I will need to do a rollback to a recent backup. No contact. At some point after our conversation on the 12th of December, Pixie removed me as a friend from Discord. From that point onwards, a small bit of communication happened between two mutual friends. One of them communicated with me that Pixie needed me to suffer in order for me to understand that I'd committed a wrong, as though I hadn't already suffered enormously due to the explosive coverage that already existed of my leaked material. They said to Pixie, if you ever wanted someone to suffer or be dead, my first instinct is to say no, but I feel like an unfortunate byproduct of getting justice from Steven would result in some level of suffering, so I guess the answer is yes. Are you wanting him to suffer, or do you want justice there? I want justice. If I could have justice without the suffering, that would be optimal, but I'm just not sure.
Okay, and so this is... Okay, so Pixie's a good person who didn't want to exact unnecessary harm on you. She just wanted to make sure there was justice and restitution for the wrong actions that you committed. Wow. Oh, wow. I think so much better of Pixie now, I guess. Thanks, Destiny. Okay.
Possible. She also communicated to a friend that she was essentially ready and waiting to kill herself based on whether or not I responded favorably to paying out a massive amount of money. I think I'm going to decide my next course of action of what to do with myself and him based on how that conversation goes. A conversation my friend was going to have with me. Unless if you decide you don't want to talk to him, that's okay too. Basically, I have my plans / course of action paused and will choose something depending on if he agrees that he has to make up / repent for the action and wants to work with me to find a way to do that, or if he doesn't feel that way. I don't want to talk to him myself because I feel like I tried explaining what I was feeling and he didn't really understand. I also have a little anxious voice in my brain telling me to prepare for the worst because he probably won't care or doesn't care enough to willingly try to make up for his mistakes, and that means I'll have to start thinking of more extreme / nuclear options to deal with, but I'm trying to avoid spiraling down that line of thought because I'm trying to hold out for hope. And just not to scare you, I'm 100% not going to do anything to myself, no matter what he says.
Dude, the chat is just so based. Bro thinks he's cooking. I would probably also want you to suffer if I was her.
During the holiday season, because I don't want to traumatize my friends during a time that's supposed to be happy. And even...
Did I miss the part where he didn't do the things he was accused of doing?
If he responds negatively, it doesn't mean I'll auto-kill myself. I'm trying to contemplate all different courses of actions, including going public, and then, if I can't take the amount of humiliation, then killing myself. Versus my plan before of scheduling a note for after I die. I'm still also looking into lawyers, but I just want to see what he says before deciding to do any nuclear option. Can I share this with Steven? He communicated to me that he knows he fucked up. There is no excuse at all. He doesn't know what he can do to make it up for you. I'm trying to bridge between help, blah, blah, blah. Can I share this with him? You can share this with him.
Well, I'm sure whatever smearing Destiny engages in against the victims, I'm sure the DGs absolutely love it. They go crazy for any opportunity. Anytime Destiny throws them a bit of red meat to go after one of the women that he's had a sexual relationship with, they love it. They're conditioned to just want to torture the women that Destiny's fucking, because that's how it works. That's how it rolls. That's what they enjoy about it.
Or you can share this in anything you want with him. I feel like when we talked, you really understood where I was coming from and can hopefully explain this better than I can. She reiterated that I needed to face consequences for my actions, claiming that she was on a mission to make this the most expensive mistake of my life, again, despite the insane amount of harassment I had already received regarding the leaked material. My friend had listed out what is it exactly that you want. Yeah, because the only problem is number 3, because even with removal of the video and getting the guy hacked charged, Steven has to face consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life, and I'm essentially asking him to self-punish himself in a way I don't think he will like or agree to without the law involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough that for the rest of his life, if he thinks of the word nude, he associates it with the amount of money he lost. Obviously, I don't want to make him destitute, but it should be large enough that he does feel upset about it and is not easily recoverable.
Okay, and?
She said that I had offered to simply pay some bills, possibly to the tune of $200, though I had absolutely no idea where she ever got that figure from.
Well, the point is that you said pay some bills. That doesn't sound like a very significant amount of money. How much are our bills each month? Pay some bills. Yeah, she's saying that sounds like a pittance. Sounds like you're throwing her a few bucks.
Yeah, honestly, I feel comfortable sending him these messages and asking him, what does he think this...
Imagine the energy on... remember the energy on all the other manifestos. Kev's one, the fucking N-word manifesto, the Bob Sever manifesto. This guy was going crazy. This guy was talking all sorts of shit. He was focused, laughing about shit, playing clips of shit happening, framing it in these funny ways this community could rip at people for forever. What's he? This is the most desperate, pathetic, cornered behavior I've ever seen. Just like, well, I did something really fucked up to her, and then she asked me for money. Okay. And?
This would look like if you're telling me of his comfortable with that he is comfortable with the idea of proportional penance and how that would look like. I just feel like he didn't understand when he said he would pay some bills for me, because it makes me feel like he's telling me, oh, I'm sorry that happened. Here's $200. Hope you feel better, which I think really underestimates the gravity of the situation, to put it lightly, and somehow makes me feel like a cheap prostitute, or it makes me feel like that's how severe he perceives his actions to be, LOL. After assurances from my friend that I was willing to pay a lot more than she had originally thought, she informed me that she was finally ready to reach out to me, using this conversation as a starting point. I think he was worried you would feel he's paying for your silence, but did want to help but didn't want to overstep. I think he's offering a lot more than how you read it, but I totally understand why you read it that way. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. I think I'm ready to reach out to him, using this conversation as a starting point, if you're okay with that. Like, I'll send him the conversation/texts so he can see where I'm coming from. Sure, but what I would outline isn't a clear ask, but a question of what you feel you need from him and what he's willing to give. Yeah, that makes sense. I really hope we can figure out a compromise and what works for both of us.
Just going over this shit for the millionth time. Changes are nothing.
At this point, mutual friends tell me that she's expecting between $500,000 to $1 million as just compensation for her suffering, though I hadn't seen that in writing anywhere yet. At this point, I felt incredibly uncomfortable establishing any direct contact. Threats of suicide, paired with requests for huge sums of money that seemed to hinge directly on whether or not I was willing to self-punish enough, paired with threats to expose me publicly if I wasn't willing to make the right choice, left me in a very rough position. I was still dealing with the mountains of harassment my family and I were receiving, 5-figure legal fees in my pursuit against the original leaker, and now I was facing a decision about whether or not I needed to fork over some huge sum of money to prevent someone from either killing them.
Okay, well, let's see it then. When you file them, when's it happening? Let's see it, buddy. I want to know. Where's this going?
Themselves or exposing me to the public. D-Day. On January 20th, 2025, while flying back from the studio in New York, I was notified that 2 videos were going live that seemed to be centered on recent events. A video titled Destiny, Predator Unmasked by Coben Seeth, and Exposing the Destiny Abuse Machine by President Sunday. Both of these videos included a multitude of messages between different parties behind the scenes that I was totally unaware were coordinating with each other. In addition to these 2 videos, Pixie dropped her Substack statement about me, Lauren Hayden launched a Give, Send, Go for Pixie in order to raise funds to sue me, and other members of the Anti-Fan Discord made claims about me, sharing material on Twitter. All of these events happened within 12 hours of each other.
Okay, and?
Basically, every internet friend I had publicly denounced me. Other streamers and YouTubers responded almost instantly to cover the statements.
Let's go!
And a slew of videos went up with a variety of claims about me, the worst of them heavily implying I was a rapist.
Another DK win! Another DK win! Add it to the board. Add it to the board. DK, literally, random editor for a channel that was like 30 viewers accused of grooming when Destiny first found out about him. Random editor for a channel that was some commie with 30 viewers accused of grooming trans people on Twitter when he first found out about him. And now this random editor has burrowed a hole in the bottom of this guy's skull so deep, he's never leaving.
All of this included all of this also refreshed the attention on all of the leaked material, mine and Pixie's included, and brought awareness.
Yeah. Wait, did that say rapist? That could say racist. I think that could say. I think there's a compelling argument for that saying racist.
All of this included refreshed. All of this also refreshed the attention on all of the leaked material, mine and Pixie's included, and brought awareness of it to a much, much wider audience than ever before, leading to an exponential increase of harassment across every social media platform I'm on. Lav, someone who proudly spread revenge porn of me in the past and admitted to it. How dare I want the person who made my life hell for a year want to be humiliated? What the heck is wrong with me? It was advantageous for that to be leaked publicly, but it never was. This is in regards to something that happened like 6 months ago, where supposedly some material of mine had leaked onto a Discord server. I didn't want to get in trouble, and I felt bad doing it, so I didn't. And I encouraged Nico Sam to spread it and not get caught because I thought it was deserved. It's not a felony to send a picture of a leaked sex tape to your friend, bro, Limfeo. We were drawing things on it, my dick, back and forth like the Doom Worm.
Why post URLs like this?
I sent it to people who Nico had already sent it to, supposedly. I made a screen grab of his foreskin, my profile pic.
Wow, live bad. Wow, live bad. Okay, what does this change? Okay, what does this change? What's the point? Live bad. Okay. Now, can we talk about you and what you did?
And a private Discord server. That's it. I wasn't sending it around. I got a picture from a random person on Discord. What?
No, it was leaked by someone else. It was leaked by someone else. Live didn't leak it.
That's a zoomed in
That's
image.
my understanding.
Of the image of your cock she was sending. Based. And Mr. Girl, LOL, made a grand return to Justical stream. Justical also began to reach out to other women, some of who had been sexually harassed by members of his own Discord server, to see if any of them wanted to come on and make a statement about me. I didn't decide to include all the messages here, but this was him to on it. If you're around, shoot me a message. Are you aware of what's going on with Destiny? Justical reached out to quite a few people, we'll say. People everywhere began to speculate that every insane...
Okay, and? So Jason messaged people and said, yo, have you seen the Destiny leaks? Have you seen this? The whole Pixie thing? The lawsuit? Have you seen this? Do you want to come talk about this? Yeah, that's... Okay, and?
Narrative about me was true, or I'm sorry... People everywhere began to speculate that every insane narrative about me that had ever been spun had now been prophetically fulfilled, and I crashed on my couch for 3 days to contemplate retirement. Also, Justical banned Laugh from his server because he realized how bad the optics were while he was trying to farm me. I just thought it was funny as the main cover of a lot of this.
Here's the one.
Laugh got banned from JSOC's Discord. Okay.
Here's the first thing.
Morals smile.
Is that
Shady, if you think my bias is insane, it'll be incredibly easy for you to go to discord.gg/Kuihman, join the waiting room, wait for the end of the segment, and then totally own me on every single point I've made. Because you're a Destiny fan. So you must be smart, you must be informed, you must be attentive, and you must be good at debate.
JSTLK already knew about this before yesterday. We talked about it slightly. And he said that, you know, it was different to what Destiny did, but it was, like, still bad, and so he didn't want me on stream talking about the Destiny allegations anymore. I was like, you know what? I get it. Whatever. Like, I get it. Like, whatever. Even though it's, like, completely different than what Steven did. It, like, you know, I don't want to... It's, like, bad optics to...
Yeah, okay. And?
Picking up the pieces. Seeing the number of people and schemes revealed initially made me incredibly...
Well, guys, you don't understand. Lav was mean to Destiny on Discord, okay?
Paranoid about who I could trust that wasn't mining our conversations for some sort of...
Yeah, so what Jason did was virtuous and well-reasoned? Okay.
Confession or blackmail material. Just to go messaging, hey, I really don't want to pry. Some stuff came out with respect to Pixie. I don't want to talk about it anywhere, but just asking if you're aware. What do I do? Just say yes? As in, yeah, I'm aware? President Sunday.
Yes, TV, I've said the whole time, it'll be at the end of the segment. If you want to join the waiting room, we will be taking calls at the end of the segment if there is anyone who thinks they can put up any kind of argument
Give him a night to possibly think to say something else. Tomorrow, say yes and ask why. That's my advice. I don't know, he talks weird. Reason being is that everybody at the moment, I think Jistical is weirdly one of the few in trust at the moment. I'm so frustrated with her, but I don't see how getting upset with her for doing this will lead to anything other than making her feel bad. Oh, it won't do anything. You're going to have to let her torch herself and then pat her shoulder after the consequences of her own actions ruin her year. The smart move actually would be to maneuver as a victim of Stephen and put those people currently jumping down her throat on her side, but outraged about the fact of the leak and make that the scandal.
Yeah, so Destiny's like access these screenshots. These are taken from Beckett's video. That's why they're washed out.
Ooh, Pixie, no. Nice. Kyla's being snaky about this. Pixie contacted her and was kind of trying to use her as a liaison. I told her Kyla can't be trusted. To help with that, Dan contacted Pixie a few weeks ago. According to what she told me, basically said, ask Stephen for a reasonable amount of money, and he'd probably pay it, plus wanting to convince her not to take legal actions against Kiwi Farms, which he's considering. You up for a call later tonight? Blah, 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 blah. Just, you know. Let's talk tomorrow. I'm going to talk with someone I trust. Sounds good. Oh, this is blackmail. Tell her under no circumstances to do this. Dan is a fucking moron, or he's trying to sabotage her. Seeing Lauren's name.
Okay, and?
Created by Lauren Dreeben Hayden.
Okay, and?
Seeing Lauren's name pop up on Pixie's Substack confirmed to me that there was significant coordination going on in the background between her and Pixie.
Whoa, girls talk to their friends about bad things that happen with guys, and sometimes they help each other out. Oh, really? No way. Whoa, no way. Whoa, no freaking way. Clearly, it's complete bullshit then. I mean, I guess if Lauren set up a give, send, go for Pixie, then it must be all bullshit. I'm convinced. I'm a complete fucking retard drone. I'm a complete fucking retard drone, Mark DGG, who will literally listen to any amount of smearing of a woman and just immediately get on Destiny's side. Whoa.
Pixie. At least, and seeing Aaron and President Sunday talking and scheming so much made me wonder what everyone's ultimate goal was. Pixie going public was something I hadn't heavily considered because it seemed to worsen both of our positions on virtually every front. Her part in the leaked material had been virtually unknown up to that point, and she had also proclaimed several times up to this point that she would kill herself if her parents discovered her role in it. I think if it was public info that you were taking legal action, 99% of people who come across it would assume it was because of your own videos and not even know about the other stuff, to be honest. I follow the bottom feeders and drama frogs who discuss all of this stuff, and very few people have even mentioned Pixie. I haven't actually heard Melina's name come up once. The blah, 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 this guy, Smith, some weird dude. There's nothing she can do about randos on Twitter, but as far as communities that are close to her, it's pretty much a blacklisted topic. She's driving herself crazy because she's clearly name searching herself and just going through Kiwi Farms. Kuihman watched the video, and even most of his gay little chat was like, okay, even I didn't know.
Mention, let's go. We made it. We made it. We made it, guys. Wait, what? Guys, we made it. Fuck, I didn't have it ready. I didn't have it ready.
Smile.
Thank you. Thank you for the $5 and the 70 sec. Thank you, guys.
Would Destiny representing himself do better than Bundy?
Now,
I hope not.
I did almost reach out to Erin for comment. I chose not to, but I almost reached out to Erin for comment on this before stream. I was going to say the people are not happy. The people are most displeased hearing that you refer to them as gay in DMs with Destiny. The people are most displeased. I chose not to. I figured I didn't really need a comment. It's fine. I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. We've always been very supportive of Erin here. We've always been very Erin positive here. So I don't know why we're receiving such smearing. There's no gay people here at all. Wait, fuck. That's the music, not the video.
Pixie was involved. What the fuck? Kuihman? Did I fuck up?
Fuck you!
The only thing her going public seemed to accomplish was to make the material far more publicized than it ever would have been otherwise. It also became clear to me that Aaron and President Sunday weren't the main people Pixie was listening to in the background. Update? Nope, haven't heard from her since the 8th. But she's been active, so she's just ignoring me. Well, give it a couple days, or we'll give it a couple days. I'd like for her to update me, and she kind of randomly had been throughout this whole thing, but I think she's annoyed with me. I told her to gently readjust her expectations with money that she could receive in any sort of settlement, plus said the demand letter first wasn't a good idea. Let me know when you're able to talk. Serious development. Good development. Oh, I'm not free until tomorrow night to chat. TLDR, should it wait? Urgent, actually. Tell me I can't pass anything to Pixie, though. She's not replying, and I just don't feel comfortable bringing anything about this up to her.
Okay, is there anything... Are we... It's still just more recapping.
That, combined with Lauren's creation of the give, send, go, plus the message she sent me the same night Pixie began to threaten suicide to me, made it more clear to me that Lauren was likely the one guiding her behavior. I think this is just a picture again of her creating that give, send, go. I also felt far more confident in my suspicion that this was all ultimately about...
What was this style I just sent? Okay.
Extracting the maximum amount of money from me. Pixie had deleted her message to me where she'd even implied a higher dollar amount than what I'd be comfortable with. So we are in our DMs where she said, I feel like whatever I ask you to cover will be too high a price too. And then I'm going to feel even worse over it. This message, the only time we'd ever discussed an actual dollar amount kind of, was deleted now from our DMs. Seemingly tried to cover her tracks by implying that I could donate to a charity while texting a mutual friend. I don't think if Steven faces consequences, he will change it again. If he wants to, he can donate the money to some charity or organization. I just think that other than jail, or even more than jail from the studies I read, money is the strongest reinforcer, and losing it is the strongest punishment. Cover her tracks by implying I could donate to a charity while texting a mutual friend, and now I was seeing Erin telling President Sunday that her suicide threat was done just to get my attention. And the messages here that she had...
Okay, and Erin thinks the suicide threat was for attention. Okay, and lots of suicide threats are for attention. That doesn't mean the person doesn't genuinely, like, feel that way. They don't genuinely feel fucked up to the point where they're, like, ideating. It doesn't change anything. I don't care if Erin says she doesn't think the suicide threat was legitimate. You wronged her in a horrific way. I don't care if her suicide threat is for attention, or because she's genuinely about to kill herself. It doesn't make a difference to me. You wronged her in a way where that would be a response I could expect.
Been sending to President Sunday. Erin says she was threatening to kill herself to him, but she told me this wasn't serious. It was just to get his attention. I also saw that she'd put together the statement that she published on her Substack at least 12 days earlier, and perhaps unknowingly to her, actually exactly outlined her schemes and messages to Erin that looked similar to texts she'd sent to Kyla. Update, she sent me a statement she wants to publish, but it's terrible. This was on the 8th of January.
I don't know where you're getting that from, Seafline. That's just, like, not in the text at all.
She
I don't know where you've
says,
even thought of that from.
What day were you thinking about releasing it? I mean, the most I can think of is the Virginia stuff or Nas, but I have trouble seeing how he would do that in a way that doesn't make him look worse for trying to deflect. I don't know what she's talking about here. If she thinks I would, like, attack her friends, I don't know. I'm going to talk to my lawyer first, send a demand letter, and based on his response to said demand letter, release it. I originally wanted to do it by next week, but it seems unlikely. This was on January 8th. And then this looks similar to the text she'd sent to Kyla, or my friend, I should say, about deciding our course of action based on how I respond. This completely destroyed the idea that President Sunday's video had forced her hand. Ironically enough, President Sunday seemed to understand the extortion angle as well, though he was incorrect in saying
I also saw that she put together a statement she published on Substack at least 12 days earlier, and perhaps unknowingly to her, she actually outlined her scheme in messages to Erin that looked similar to text to Kyla. But where's that? Yeah, just because she was planning to go this way anyway, doesn't mean that Sunday's video didn't force her hand to do it earlier. Those aren't contradictory ideas. This doesn't change the idea that Sunday might have forced her hand. Just because this was the plan, this was the track she was on, if Sunday releases it before she plans to, and then she has to release, that is her hand being forced. Doesn't change anything. So the entire time she was talking to Destiny, she was speaking to Sunday? Nope. I don't know where you've got that from. Pixie was never speaking to Sunday.
Originally wanted to do it by next week, but it seems unlikely. This was on January 8th. And then this looks similar to the text she'd sent to Kyla, or my friend, I should say, about deciding our course of action based on how I respond. This completely destroyed the idea that President Sunday's video had forced her hand. Ironically enough, President Sunday seemed to understand the extortion angle as well, though he was incorrect in saying that it was Pixie's first impulse to do this, as that seemed to develop sometime around or before December 11th, which is when, I'm guessing, Lauren began coaching her more ardently.
Okay, I don't know if it's extortion or I don't know if it becomes legally extortion. I think it lowers her bargaining position. It was a bad move that she shouldn't have done. But it doesn't change anything about what Destiny did. But it changes nothing about Destiny's situation.
This is his take on everything, but I don't know if it matters to get his take, but... I also finally saw, in writing, confirmation that she was indeed seeking a payout of at least $1 million in order to prevent her...
CS Manager, you are more than welcome to join discord.gg/Kuihman and call in if you have an issue with anything being said.
From going public. These were messages Kyla and Pixie exchanged on December 18th. Kyla was telling Pixie that she would talk to Steven IRL about the whole ordeal, but then she said scheduling issues prevented the conversation. She also says every time she's tried to ask for details via messages, he's not engaged, but I think that's a lie, obviously. And for context, Pixie wanted to sue for a lot of money, literally $1 million plus, but I told her that amount isn't realistic. If she did that, which I doubt, that would be incredibly misleading. She's wanted an incredible amount of money from the start, and I have repeatedly but gently told her that she will not get the sum she wants. There's no legal basis for her getting $1 million payout, which she repeatedly discussed with me. Erin thinks, for whatever reason, I guess, that I'm lying about having talked to Kyla, but every single person close to me, I basically said, hey, I'm not talking about this with you. We're not discussing this, except for the things in relation to the communication through Pixie, because I had no idea who was talking to who, and I just didn't want to be the mastermind manipulator or anything, so I didn't give instructions, talk to anybody, say anything, do anything, unless they were communicating things to me from Pixie. Sharing videos. As a quick aside, and to get way further into my sexual life than I'd ever publicly want to, trading nudes or videos with someone isn't done to impress anyone, as Pixie writes in her Substack. In my world, it's generally just fun to see someone you're speaking with engaging in sexual acts. When the idea of making recordings comes up with someone, there are a few different categories that people tend to fall into. For people who are extremely concerned
being a white guy, I've seen you making statements on whether you think the lawsuit is winnable. I think you are so beyond low IQ, it's unfucking believable. Any retarded layman who is making statements on whether the case is winnable or not, saying it's a slam dunk or this case is going nowhere. You are so stupid. I look at you as filth. I look at you as below human because you are so stupid, so uninformed, yet so egotistical as to believe that you can make a judgment on a court case as a retarded layman who's never been in court, never been to law school, probably never even followed a case from start to finish.
Their privacy or material possibly leaking. I generally just recommend that we don't record anything at all, as there's always some risk that stuff can leak, and it's just not worth the anxiety of having any material like that recorded.
So, what is this guy? This is completely retarded. So if you're so cautious, you just don't like recording stuff and sharing it. Why are you recording Grindr hookups from your pocket? Why are you sharing these materials with random anime profile pictures that you meet on Discord that you haven't verified even the age of? Why? Explain that. Why are you doing all of that? If you don't enjoy, if you just don't care, you think it's a bad idea generally, why did you engage in such a long, what would you call it, plentiful pattern of this behavior?
If someone still wants to record something after that, I would generally just...
The lawsuit alleges 15 women have reached out to Pixie. 15 women that received this stuff.
Have them record on their phone for them to keep hold of the material. Other people don't view it as a catastrophe if the material leaked, and have already made recordings of themselves and others and exchanged them with other people. With that out of the way, conversations guessing as to whether or not any of the leaked material was consensually shared was a hot topic of discussion following the initial leaks. Pixie would send messages to people to tell them that she had never sent videos of other people to me before, and she portrayed herself in her Substack as though I was the first person to ever suggest this to her, and I was the first person she ever recorded material with. I know that she's messaged people with stuff like this.
Okay, and?
This statement and implication, however, are both false. She'd sent me videos of her and other guys multiple times prior to us ever meeting and requested material from me as well. It was also her who suggested multiple times that we record stuff when we met later in 2020. I took some videos of the guy I can send you later if you're interested also. Okay, I'll send you when I get them. This is just basically her talking about...
Not just guy, other guys.
Times that we record stuff when we met later in 2020.
I took some videos with the guy I can send you later if you're interested also. Ooh, what? Yes. Okay, I'll send... So apparently he doesn't like recording stuff or sending it. Nothing to impress, but ooh, what? Yes? Okay, I'll send them to you when I get them.
I took some videos of the guy I can send you later if you're interested also. Okay, I'll send you when I get them.
I'm open to anything you want to send me. You know, I'm a super curious person. I think he's asleep. You might have to wait for videos until tomorrow. Rip. Okay?
This is just basically her.
So, I mean, she's waiting for the videos from the guy.
I took some videos of the guy I can send you later if you're interested also. Okay, I'll send you when I get them. This is just basically her talking about...
What's she saying here? I got to read through his DMs.
I took some videos of the guy I can send you later if you're interested also. Okay, I'll send you when I get them.
Ooh, you're streaming again? Is it Frostpunk though? I am, but not Frostpunk though. No, did it go okay? Seems like stream for a while. You know them, but it won't let me. And yeah, okay, pretty casual, nice. I'm pretty sure anyone watched it disappear for a while. Ooh, fuck yeah, I want to see the finish. Holy fuck, you look so hot, adorable.
Destiny's whole thing on Sunday is she was feeling like killing herself, so I just murdered her. She was gonna do it anyway.
Thank you for the 7.99. Jojo, that's the whole video, but I have another video of me fucking in lingerie that went sent through here. Rip, and no worries, we're talking about tomorrow. It was probably too long. I use Google Drive, that kind of stuff, and yeah. If you have anywhere else you think the video would send to, maybe Instagram, but otherwise just throw something to Google Drive and link from there. Should I send it to you tomorrow through Insta right now? Yeah, do it now, hell yeah.
We're talking about sending me videos of her with other people on Instagram where she DMs this to me.
Did you get the video? Also, I'm telling you videos you want to send me in general, lol. Did you send it on Instagram? Ooh, let me check. That one is asking me to sign in. Also, then worked. Look at you riding dick like a... Okay. Yeah, it felt really good when he was... Okay, this is just leaking sex. Reminder, guys. I'll remind you guys. We actually will use the dog shit Willie Mac video for this.
So much so it made me wonder why.
We actually will use the dog shit Willie Mac video for this one. If we can find it. Where's the clip?
Pursued litigation against Destiny. See, I genuinely hope he faces
DDG.
Still lying about what he did. Now, I'm not going to pretend that those
I think
oh, where's the Tom clip?
Man, she's part of what?
He's got screw up. State story. Keys of all these
me a lot of Twitter
to spend butting much I think media.
Get off top.
About sleeping until 9 while I got up.
Dude, this guy is such a fucking loser. I hate Willie Mac, man.
He said, bro, if I...
Oh, fuck it. We'll check the Present Sunday video, actually. Fuck it. You guys know the clip I'm pulling up anyway. I'm sure everyone's been around here knows it. Here we go.
She did so.
Like if I...
To prove that she was actually sexting her the entire time and referring to her with terms such as princess in their conversations. Anna threatened to post these sexually charged texts to prove that she wasn't crazy and that...
So Anna threatened to post textual sexts. She threatened to post them to prove that she wasn't lying, to prove that she was innocent. She was going to post these. What was Destiny's response?
This was all actually taking place, and in retaliation, Destiny threatened in public to leak her nude photos if she did so.
Like if you and I had like sexted or something or traded nudes and you were like, I'm gonna leak your nudes, and I go, fuck you, if you leak my nudes, I'm gonna leak your nudes. Is that like blackmail or is that like abusive? I disagree.
So do you think that leaking sexting and leaking nudes is proportional, or do you think it's a proportional response in the way that you're reacting to that?
I think it's about proportional. If you're leaking like sexual material and shit from another person, yeah, fuck it, I think it's proportional.
Destiny has
So this is Destiny saying, in no uncertain terms, if you leak someone's sexts, it is justified for the other party to leak your nudes. That's Destiny's belief. And here he is, in no different context.
Did you think Will was still sweeping?
In no different
Thought it was
context.
strange he chose Focus on Sunday and Beckett in second half of the
$5,
video.
don't care. Thank you, $5, don't care. In no different context, doing the exact same thing, how is it not justified for someone to just start revenge porning this guy? By his own moral standards, Pixie could just revenge porn this guy. Totally justified. Because of what he's done here. And this is equivalent to revenge porn, what he's doing here, by his own moral standards. And that's just undeniable. There's no cope around that. We just saw it, clear as day. Exactly analogous example, then him doing it. Exactly analogous example, him laying out his exact beliefs, then him doing it. There's no cope around that.
Basically, I don't want to read these, they're cringe as fuck. I'm with a guy friend right now, I could probably get a photo or video of him, blah, blah, blah. And then the times that for us recording anything, it's going to be something you do. Would you want to make some videos together? If you want to, yeah, sure. Do you want to take videos when we do stuff together? I think I'd blah, blah, blah. Jesus Christ. I was engaged to Melina at the time, so there's no way I would have agreed to anything that wouldn't have allowed her to view anything I recorded. Pixie was comfortable sending me videos of her and other identifiable men, with them even having saved the videos on their own phones. I took videos of some guy. I can send you later if you're interested. Sure, I'll send them to you when I get them.
This?
Her and other identifiable.
Okay, what?
Well, men, with them even having saved the videos on their own phones.
Okay, and?
I took videos of some guy. I can send you later if you're interested.
What is it? She sent you videos. And?
Sure, I'll send them to you when I get them. At no point in any of these conversations did Pixie ever mention having explicit consent from any of these other men to share these videos with me. I have no way of contacting them today to find out if she did.
So you're just baselessly bringing it up. You're just asking questions. Just totally baseless, totally worthless, literally meaningless. Just has no reason to think it was non-consensual. If people just started accusing this guy of doing it non-consensually without a statement from Pixie, without an allegation from Pixie, if the defense would have been crazy, the sweeping would have been crazy. But yet, even despite this being a completely baseless allegation that isn't material to the point, doesn't prove anything, even despite that, Pixie is still able, unlike Destiny, to come out and clearly state that she had consent and that she is innocent. So unlike Destiny, who still has not denied recording women without their consent in sexual situations, has not denied recording men from Grindr in sexual situations without their consent, has not denied sharing nudes, has essentially admitted sharing nudes without consent. Pixie is somehow able to come out on Twitter and state very clearly, I had consent, I believe courts will exonerate me. Very clearly. So there's no allegation here. You have no victim saying anything about her. You have no victim coming out. You have her making a clear statement of her innocence. Where's that from Destiny? Nowhere, because Destiny is guilty. You have not even a victim here. With Destiny, we have multiple victims, and he refuses to deny wrongdoing, even taking responsibility for breaking her trust in one instance. So there is no deflection here. There is no deflection onto Pixie. It doesn't exist. Literally no deflection onto Pixie. It's worthless.
All this to say, consent was being reasonably understood by both sides of this situation. Back to the Substack. Pixie DM'd me first, I believe after we'd had a debate.
Her DM says, the guy. Why does Destiny say multiple women? Because he's a fucking worthless rat. That's why. But Pixie even states on this tweet, she says, let's read this. Destiny is implying I'm guilty of the same crime he is. This is false. The guy was my ex who consented to sharing. I was not recording random one-night stands. Destiny knows the truth. He is taking screenshots out of context and attempt to twist the narrative. Do you have any cute pics for it? Also, I made a bad life decision. The guy I'm currently in love with was encouraging me to contact people I've talked sexually with before, so I contacted the guy who played me a long time ago. Because other than you, he's the only other one who knows me in that context, and I'm kind of sad about it. So that's evidence that the guy she was with, her boyfriend at the time, was encouraging her to basically go and do stuff with other guys. Send stuff to other guys, text with other guys. It obviously doesn't explicitly say send stuff, but she's being encouraged to go and have sexual interactions with other guys by the guy she was with. So that is circumstantial evidence that points towards consent. Yeah, I'm still talking to that one guy, Lo. I have feelings for him, Rep. And you won't get super mad if I visit you in LA, as long as I talk to him about it before and I'm honest with him. Again, more circumstantial evidence that points towards the idea that it was consensual. No one knows either on my end except my ex-boyfriend. I trust you / believe you. Do you think they're going to make up a bunch of stuff? Jesus Christ, where did you get this info? Is Max claiming it or Lav or both? I can see Lav make it up from thin air, but I feel like Max takes a sliver of their information, twists it until it becomes a new monster / creature. I don't know what that's even about. I hate the fact I'm being forced to humiliate myself like this. I was sexually struggling, and my ex suggested me experimenting with others to see if it could increase my confidence. I wanted to learn to make my partners happy, but I didn't want to try things with random people. So I chose someone who was an expert with consent and boundaries. I chose someone I thought I could trust. Now you've decided to violate my privacy not only once, but twice, by posting my private sexual messages with you. I never wanted people to know about my sexual struggles in the past. I never wanted to litigate my sex life. This was supposed to be private. The details of my sex life are supposed to be for my partner and me only, not random strangers on the internet. Destiny, you were the second person I ever slept with. I thought I could trust you. Now you're using intimate details of my life against me. I need you to stop. You already shared some of my most intimate moments against the world for the world to see. Why are you forcing me to share more? What do you gain from this? So that's literally, this is a perfectly good statement. Clearly denies the allegation. And yeah, he's completely fucking her over. All it is attempting to drag her down into the mud. It's a worthless deflection. It's meaningless.
Debate on some Twitch panel on October 23rd, 2019.
And that's the best he had. And that's the best he had. That's what everyone's riding on.
She told me multiple times that she was 20 years old. You're 20, right? Yeah, yeah, I am 20. I had a fake ID, blah, blah, blah. I'm 20, yeah, yeah. So I'm not entirely sure why she said I was hitting on her when she was 19. By the time we met in person, she was 21. Based on my interactions with her, I find it odd that she describes herself
I don't know what the timeline is here. I don't even know what Pixie's birthday is, so I can't make any assessment on this.
As extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered as well. When I was 19, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered, being severely terrified of leaving, so blah, blah, blah. In several places, Pixie deliberately uses language that makes it sound as though I'm simply sending explicit material containing only her to another person. Pornographic content of me online. So you can imagine my surprise.
She was actually 20, not 19. How old is Rose, Destiny? How old is Rose? Make a definitive statement, please. I'd love to see a definitive statement.
I discover he distributed pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. He sent pornographic content to me, was trying to barely using my body and my privacy. This is not the case. The material in question is an explicit video of me and her together. I would never just send around explicit material of another person on their own.
Oh yeah, Rose obviously wasn't 18. We know she wasn't 18, you know.
Any material I've exchanged is done so because I'm in it, not to impress someone by using someone else's body. She also repeatedly claims that the main purpose of the statement was about preventing me from harming other women. If that was the case, why did she contact me at all prior to releasing it? Why was her publishing this statement contingent on my response to her and how much I was willing to pay her? One of the most irritating and conspiratorial claims she makes against me is that I was sending material to a person intentionally hoping they would leak. This all comes from her statement.
I want to from Pixie's side. It's tough though when she was saying, trust me, replying to Tom that claims she has never sent videos, which is now a lie. Is there a chart to encrypt? What do you mean? Where's she saying? She said in one message that Destiny showed that she never sent videos. Okay, and? I don't care. In one DM, she said she never sent videos. I don't care. This is not material to the public claims. I don't care. You don't have a victim saying that it wasn't sent without consent. Everyone else, before accusing Destiny of being a revenge pornographer, waited until Melina spoke out, until Pixie spoke out. They didn't just say, Destiny's a revenge pornographer, Destiny needs to answer for this, did they? Everyone waited until the other party said there wasn't consent there. Yet in Destiny's case, for some reason, it's on the person accused to prove their innocence. For some reason, Pixie, being randomly accused of something by a third party, has to prove her innocence. When Destiny is shown, in his case, acknowledging fault. But Pixie has to prove her innocent. Destiny acknowledges fault, refuses to even claim innocence, but Pixie has to prove her innocence. How does this make any sense? What's the standard for evidence?
I don't think I need to explain just how unbelievably baseless, callous, and malicious this point is, as I have suffered irreparable privacy and reputational harm due to all of the publicization of the leaked material. Similarly, I find it both incredulous and ludicrous that she would imply that I was somehow attempting to intimidate her based on comments I'd made.
TS manager, nobody gives a fuck about your retarded, degenerate, filth opinion about how much money is enough money to have your consent repeatedly violated in a way that is going to be immortalized and permanent for the rest of your fucking life. Nobody cares about your subjective opinion on how much money is too much or not enough money. It's down to the lawyers. It's down to the courts. No one gives a fuck what you think. Your opinion is fucking worthless. Nobody cares. Shut up about going, oh, I think that's too much money. Or I'll just ban you from the chat because it's a fucking worthless thing to say.
Been making about Hassan. I have never at
the ask at first is going to be big. It will probably be less if they get a payout. That's how it goes.
Any point in this process told her that she had no right to take legal action against me, nor denied her any right to pursue whatever justice she felt was reasonable. On the contrary, she has been the one threatening me with going public and with suicide the entire time if I wasn't willing to pay her a massive sum of money. She also manages to twist every conversation we had in the most malicious way possible, claiming that I was downplaying my actions, when in reality I was trying to talk her off a ledge from killing herself with the advice of her friend. In addition to the misrepresentation and lies in her statement, she is also sure to link directly to any tweets involving other high-profile figures I spoke with, likely with the goal of getting others to tweet.
Pixie said she was gonna herself and then leave a timed note to go public with.
Statement at them.
That's what Pixie
she also
said.
Makes it explicitly clear that her
and she said that she was exploring nuclear options to Erudite.
Goal is to simply inflict as much damage onto me as possible. Also, the wording of her Substack tweet heavily implies that I was also publicly posting revenge porn of her. On November 29th, the streamer Destiny accidentally shared my nudes, making me a victim of revenge porn. I'll be suing him in federal court. I'm not clicking these links. They're just like links to her quoting her Substack, basically.
Okay, and?
Negotiations begin. On January 31st, 2025, I received the first written demand.
But nice to see someone lose their shit over common sense. Dude, you must have a TBI.
From Pixie's law firm. This time, the letter was citing Florida Civil Statute 784-049 for sexual cyber harassment, which requires malicious intent for publishing images. Basically, for this, it's saying that you're sending these for no legitimate purpose with the intent of causing substantial emotional distress to the depicted person. Thankfully, the demand to settle our dispute was a reasonable one, with Pixie only requesting $15 million plus legal fees in order to come to an amicable settlement. Notably, there was no request for any of this money to go to charity. As a result of this violation, my client has suffered considerable harm, including but not limited to severe emotional anguish, damage to personal relationships, and public humiliation. The unlawful actions have disrupted my client's personal and professional life.
Well, so I've heard, I don't know the truth of this, I've heard These demand letters are meant to be private legal correspondence, and judges and courts generally don't look upon leaking shit like this when you're in the middle of litigation very well.
Compelled to seek monetary compensation for these damages. In light of the foregoing, we hereby demand the following. Immediate monetary compensation for the damages caused by the unauthorized disclosure of intimate images. Specifically, my client is entitled to at least $15 million in compensation for the following things. A formal written apology from you acknowledging your role in the unauthorized disclosure and the harm it caused, immediate cessation of further things, reimbursement of legal fees.
Especially like the judge actually granted Pixie a protective order last night, and he's on here, just smearing and leaking a bunch of shit and showing private legal correspondence. Why? I'm sure this went by the lawyers.
Matter within 5 business days. All right. A phone call followed between our 2 law firms to discuss the absurdity of this demand. I was incredibly irritated at this point, as Pixie had already launched a...
Can you please stop claiming these morons have TBIs? It's insulting to people like me.
Okay, thank you for the dono.
Maximum pressure campaign against me publicly, and I was forced to sit on my hands while these negotiations took place, since I didn't want to compromise her ability to settle things with me without having to publicly out our prior private interactions. It was also unbelievable to me that someone could so quickly go from being so suicidal over the prospect of her parents discovering the leaked material to posting a public statement against me, implicating her in all of the leaked material and exploding its popularity, filing a civil suit against me without even trying in good faith to reach a settlement beforehand, and publicly provoking and continuing fights with others who were also publicizing aspects of the leaked material.
Wow, she was fighting on Twitter, guys. I care now.
Just randomly bashing some dude's physical appearance.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't convinced until he said that she was fighting with people on Twitter, and now all of a sudden I'm on Destiny's side.
Egg wearing a toupee, and you think you're qualified to comment on someone else's looks, and then him bringing up, obviously,
Beardson made the money. Let's go. W. Beardson.
Sir, you flirt with one, and then her quote tweeting it and responding about it. The present. And that's where we're at now. The last few months have been an utter nightmare for me. It's frustrating that no one cares that Kiwi Farms is still, to this day, hosting all of the revenge porn on their own servers. To reiterate, the reasons it's taken me so long to make any statements about this are because, initially, I wanted to minimize publicizing both mine and other people's explicit material. Then, it was due to Pixie's claims that she would kill herself if the material ever made its way to her parents. And finally, it was done to allow Pixie to have the maximum room possible to negotiate some sort of settlement with me without me having to come out with a statement of my own that sheds more light on her character and her behavior. There's always room for improvement in my own behavior, and I've obviously reflected on and changed the way I've engaged with people in this space over the past couple of years. This entire ordeal involves a video recorded 5 years ago and sent 3 years ago in April of 2022. It's irritating that my prioritizing Pixie's well-being at every stage of this after the leaks has resulted in me being maligned so heavily, but alas, I don't look forward to the next 12 to 18 months of this drip feeding onto my...
How do you see what the update is? When something on Pacer gets updated, how do you see what got updated? Because it says docket last updated 35 minutes ago. What happened on this docket 35 minutes ago? How do I see? Because it just says yesterday with the protective order.
My content, maybe we'll spend it trying to beat Elon into space. What a fun adventure. I don't really want to get into like a huge back and forth on whatever bullshit. I know there are other situations and things that people have made, other accusations or claims that are all entirely fucking baseless. But I'm trying to do this one piece at a...
New leak dropped on KF, recording of the Grinder dude. That's horrifying. That's horrifying stuff. Guys, we will not be spending too much time on that, okay? We'll see what the findings are, okay? We'll see what the findings are. We'll see what the findings are. I can't really cover that sort of thing on stream, obviously. That would be completely fucked. But yeah, I obviously just that sounds I Jesus.
Time, because I'm managing multiple stuff, especially stuff that might become legal, is I just have to be careful with exactly what I say about the other person, so I don't invite further civil action in the form of like, oh, now he's defaming me or blah blah blah. So but yeah, anyway, I'll post this. Good luck. I don't know if we're doing anything else tonight or not with Dan, and then tomorrow I will yeah, play video games and do fucking commentary and all that bullshit. Any comment on how Kyle and Dan got raked over the coals for no reason by your detractors? I really feel for them. It's all just like conspiracy posting. Me and Kyla, like literally, I don't know what it is about Kyla, but she invites literally the most deranged, obsessive hatred ever. Pretty sure most people in this situation, at least that I've communicated with, have basically been trying to communicate with Pixie for Pixie's sake, and that's every communication I've seen has seemed to further that. Now, there might be other communications.
I second the previous comment regarding TBIs. I went 5 minutes without oxygen at birth and dropped a 40 kilograms steel beam on my head. As usual, these people make me feel much more confident in my intellect.
Thank you for the 10
entirely
Australian.
fucking baseless. What a fun adventure. I don't really want to get into like a huge back and forth on whatever
Are you
bullshit.
still cool with Dan? As far as look, I don't hate Dan or anyone simply for being friends with Destiny. Dan, as far as I've seen, as much as he's done bullshit deflecting, which I'm fucking is like wretched, and fucking he's had his arguments with J-Stalk. I just kind of let those two sort things out between themselves. He said the things. He said Cherry is, or I believe Cherry to be telling the truth. That probably happened. He implied heavily Destiny was abusive to Melina. He said he believes Pixie. He said all the things. He said all the things. So it's like, whatever, man. As long as you're real with who this guy is, okay, you can be friends with someone. You can be friends with a bad person. As long as you're, like, real about who that person is. That's my perspective on this sort of shit. Erudite is not real about who Destiny is. Dan will say, this guy's like a fucking sociopath. Erudite would never say some shit like that.
I know there are other situations and things that people have made, other accusations or claims that are all entirely fucking baseless. But I'm trying to do this one piece at a time because I'm managing multiple stuff, especially stuff that might become legal. I just have to be careful with exactly what I say about the other person, so I don't invite further civil action in the form of like, oh, now he's defaming me or blah blah blah. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll post this. Good luck. I don't know if we're doing anything else tonight or not with Dan, and then tomorrow I will yeah, play video games and do fucking commentary and all that bullshit. Any comment on how Kyle and Dan got raked over the coals for no reason by your detractors? I really feel for them.
No way is he going to be playing video games again.
It's all just like conspiracy posting. Me and Kyla, literally, I don't know what it is about Kyla, but she invites.
5 ants made him not enjoy video games.
Literally the most deranged, obsessive hatred ever. Pretty sure most people in this situation, at least that I've communicated with, have basically been trying to communicate with Pixie for Pixie's sake, and that's every communication I've seen has seemed to further that. Now, there might be other communications that I'm not aware of that contradict that, but I haven't seen it. Generally, when I go to write stuff like this or do research, I usually have like 20, 30, 40, 50 people that are communicating with me, different logs or different things at different points in time. After this whole situation exploded, I literally have nobody communicating anything with me because I'm apparently a rapist. So every piece of information I've gotten is just what I've been able to piece together on my own, and then what other people have managed to leak or post in public videos. So, yeah. Well,
no, I hate Willie. I always thought Willie's videos suck. I hate Willie because not only did he make a bad video, but then he started acting incredibly smug about it afterwards, and started and was like too dumb to engage in any criticisms. I don't hate Willie on some huge moral point. I hate Willie because he's an egotistical, sensitive midwit who makes shit content. That's why I hate Willie.
Good luck. Have fun. Be careful. Stay safe. I will, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, wait. Sorry, some guy asked this.
Not that I even hate Willie. I even hate Willie, to be honest. Like, hate is so strong. I do have a very bad impression of him over this last week, though. I have an incredibly bad impression of him over the past week.